Next, we're going to learn about assigning quizzes to your students. So before students can take quizzes, you have to assign them to a class. And when you assign a test, it creates a copy with the test code for a class. Now, it's important to note that the assigned copies are different from the original, so deleting or editing one will not affect the other. So if later on you make changes to your test, you're going to have to reassign it again for those changes to reach the students. Basically, just think once you've assigned the quiz, it becomes its own quiz in and of itself. Quiz. So first thing you want to do is go to Design. And you're going to see a list of all the quizzes that you have here. And then you want to make sure you select from the drop-down menu here which class you want to assign this to. Okay, so I'll just assign this to my test class, and I just want to assign this one here. You can select multiple quizzes at once to assign, and then just click Assign. And it automatically brings you up to all the tests that have been assigned to that class. Now if you ever want to get back here, you would just click See Tests, and it shows you all the tests that are assigned for a specific class. The next thing we want to do is be able to edit some options for the test when it's assigned and when students take it. So go ahead and click on a test name to edit testing options for a test. So if I want to edit Techno lunch, so this page gives you a little bit of information. Right here is your class test. So if you have assigned passwords, you could just share this link and then students would log in with their passwords. It also gives a URL for a practice test. If you want students just to be able to practice this without recording any grades, you would just click on this and then share that link with them. Here it shows you when it was assigned, and you can edit that. You can see when it expires, change that. You can edit the test name right here. You can give it a level for whatever reason, I don't know. You can set a time limit on the test, and it can really be anything that you would like. So once the time limit expires, students wouldn't be able to take the test anymore. You can switch the order from fixed to random, and that's the order of the questions. And then you can also change the length. So you can just have them answer 3 out of these 5, and that quiz will randomly select 3 of the 5 questions. Now here's the test code. With this test code, you can share it with other teachers so that they could import this same test into their test banks. You can change your case sensitive, accent sensitive. You can also type instructions here. Okay, and I'm just going to write you have 10 minutes to take the test. And so those instructions will show up before they take the test, and they have to click it before they start. Now here you can choose to have students finish work to save later, or they can't save their work to finish later. You can choose to always save grades or only save when a score is above a certain amount. So I want to save when it's above 50%. Here you can choose whether students navigate forwards only, or if they can go backwards and change their answers. Okay, now here you can choose whether to show the number complete while testing or show the number right and wrong. So notice if you click this one and you show the number right or wrong, they can't go back and change their answers. Okay, so they can still go back and look at the questions, but they can't change their answers. Okay, and you also have a choice of what they see when they finish the test. They can either show the detailed results, meaning they'll get to see all the answers to the tests, or you can have them just see their grade only, or you could have them not see any results. Now you can also click Use as Default if you want any new tests that you assign to have these settings. Okay, here you can change the order of your test if you want. Okay, so you can just drag and drop it to the order that you want. Notice this little trash can guy pops up too, so you can delete questions. You could also delete questions by checking them and then clicking delete. You can also shuffle all the questions, and that would just shuffle them all. Okay, and you can also insert questions, but it has to be from the pre-made set. Okay, you can also change the point value of each question, so you just select it and change this. So I want this question to be worth 5 points because the Giants are the best. Alright, you have the option also to print this test. Alright, and be sure to click Save to make sure you save all the changes that you've made for this quiz. Okay, so that is setting up when you assign a test. Next, we want to talk about notifying students of a test. So what you want to do is you can choose one or more tests by checking the checkbox, and then you just click Notify. So this will actually send each student their own individual quiz. It makes a link for their quiz, and so the program knows which student's taking it. And I usually just use thatquiz.org to send the emails. And so here you can select which students you want to take the test. So let's just say a student's not there that day and you don't want them to have access to the test. You can just uncheck them. You can also use this here to select everybody, or click it again and it deselects everybody. So we just don't want to send it here. And when you can also choose a signature however you want this to look. And then when you click send, it's going to send a link to the students. Okay, and after it sends it, it verifies that it sent it to these addresses. And now you can sit back and watch the grades flow in.